Hi everyone, my name is Bethany Mallet. I wanted to take a couple minutes to go over what made me decide to be a Beachbody coach. I've done this video like a couple times now on like different days, and I think it's funny that every time I do this video I end up with a different answer, so hopefully this kind of meshes all of them together. Really there's kind of two different things that happened that really stood out to me. First, I'll go with the health aspect of it. I used to be, after having two kids, and I was only 24 years old, I was 210 pounds. I'm only 5'4", so that's a lot of person. So I had gotten so frustrated because I felt like nothing was working. And I had tried a few different things, but what I came to find out was actually that I had some kind of food intolerance. It may not be permanent. I'm not sure. I've never gotten like blood tested for it, but I have some kind of very big issue with wheat. It makes me really, really sick. And that had only developed symptoms after I had my daughter. So it was kind of funny. I've spent my whole life with ADD and dyslexia, and come to find that those can actually be symptoms of food allergies. So like I said, I'm not sure if it's permanent or not, but when I discovered that I had to let those things go, it really made me change my health for the better. It made me really think about inflammation in the body, and also what I wanted my kids to see, because I was that mom that was constantly like feeding my kids, vegetables and meat, but then myself like stopping by the drive-thru to get like a taco on the way home, because I'm like, well, I don't have the money for like a big dinner for all of us. I just want to cook for them, and I just need to eat real fast. And it's like, I was just not prioritizing myself, which I think is normal as a mom. So I had to adjust that and be like, you know what? My kids aren't going to learn to love themselves and treat themselves well with food if I don't do it myself too. They just learn everything from example. So I started to take better care of myself. A huge portion of that was also that while I was pregnant with my daughter, they thought I had gestational diabetes, which I did not have with my son. So it would have been something I developed, not necessarily was prone to. That was scary to me. So after seeking a nutritionist and talking to my midwife and that kind of thing, within 2 weeks, they had actually completely leveled out my blood sugar through just a change in my diet, which was like grain and sugar free. That was it. It was not like a huge deal. And so those events really did a lot for me in changing my health. And so I got real serious about it and dropped about 60 pounds, and I still have some work to go. That leaves me at 150. So, but still, like, it made me feel like, with having spent my whole life with like ADD and dyslexia, and having been tired my whole life and not understanding that, even as like a teenager and stuff, I was like, how come all these other kids can wake up in the morning and I can't? And so going through that was really interesting to know, like, by the time I had taken care of my health, I don't mind getting up at 5 or 6 in the morning. My body just gets up now because it's just not a huge struggle. That was really cool. That was definitely one of the best parts. So I just kind of felt like I knew I had to get all of this information to people. And so what I had planned on doing actually was kind of creating my own business for nutrition, somehow meal plans and helping people get into clean eating and that kind of thing. And then I had been watching Beachbody coaches, but fitness is like not my main thing. Even still, I would say I probably work out like 3 or 4 times a week. I'm not that diehard, like everyday kind of person. I definitely struggle with that. When people are like, oh, I hate rest days, I don't get it. I love them. But I watched my coach, who coincidentally had the same allergy. And I kind of started to watch her emphasis on staying home with her son. And since I had my son, I had always planned on being that mom that worked, but it was interesting once I finally went back. I was like, no, I hate work. And I really wasn't pleased with my work situation anyways. It was retail, and anyone that's worked retail just knows the kind of shady situation that it is. And I was a little, not high up, but I was high enough up that I was like, this is not my favorite thing. You're kind of controlled by it if you want to go anywhere. And at some point, they actually even told me a few times that I wasn't going to go anywhere in that business because I was putting my family first. And that meant I couldn't just show up on the spot. Like if they called me and they needed me in 15 minutes, that wasn't going to happen because I either had to find a babysitter or what if I couldn't find a babysitter? So totally aggravating. And I kicked butt at that job. In my opinion. I don't know. There might be people from that job watching this being like, no, I don't know. I felt like I was really putting my heart into it. And eventually it came to a time with that job that there were some things happening that I definitely disagreed with. And some other girls there too had the same feeling. And we tried to handle the situation properly through our company. And it was also at the time that they were kind of reestablishing positions and that kind of thing. They were kind of going over everything in the company from corporate and above, or corporate and below. They were changing all the positions. And I got pulled into the office one day after having, had a lot of trouble with management and stuff. I got pulled in the office one day and they were like, hey, so you can stay if you want, but we're going to make you part-time and we're going to remove your hours and your pay and your benefits. And I first of all cried because that's my immediate defense to everything. And then I also was like, I could just leave though and be happy because I really dislike this job. And I hadn't been getting anywhere anyways. So watching my coach, I think one of the same days as that, I saw her post a sneak peek thing, but also a video of her playing in her backyard with her son, talking about how amazed she was that she can do this and still make money. And I was like, I cried again. I wasn't, how come she gets to do that? I had been watching Beachbody coaches for quite some time, so I watched all their posts and stuff and I was like, I can do all that. I can do all that. Like, I'm totally gonna go for it. So I talked to her, got into a sneak peek, saw what was required on a daily basis. And I don't mind giving an hour a day of my time, or even more, honestly. I'm home, so I can get up before the kids and work. I can work on their naps. I can work when they go to bed. It's not really a big deal, but I get to choose that. And that was really cool to me after having had to leave my kids so many times with people. And even watching one situation where someone else had to parent them when I came home from work, because that was kind of becoming their place. And that was heartbreaking. I cried again then, and I called my husband and I was like, dear God, please make it happen that I can have a reasonable way out of my job. And within a few months, that all that had happened with my work. So it just kind of fell naturally. And it felt good to get into the business. And so then once I started, I wasn't anticipating much. And then it turned out that I was doing really well at it. And that was cool. That was all right. Like, you definitely want to be able to find yourself some financial security through that. But also, what I found that really amazed me was a huge support group of women walking through the same process that I was, of being frustrated that I didn't get to stay home with my kids. Or, some of them don't want to stay home. Some of them want to work. That's cool too. But we were all supporting each other in whatever we wanted to do. And we were constantly working on each other with health and fitness. And it's not a negative environment at all, which I was I was used to. I was completely used to a negative environment where you go to work and you're constantly pulled in for these backhanded evaluations for like, well, you just closed the store 15 minutes too late. And even though that's not your responsibility, somehow you're in trouble. I didn't have to go through all that anymore. And it was just all the work environment that I dreamed existed, that I actually had come to the place I told myself that it didn't exist anymore, because I had been through so much with that company, that getting into coaching with my team was amazing to see, like, how completely fulfilling it was. And even then, after that, then the best stuff started to happen. Like I'd get text messages from my clients or my coaches saying, hey, down 5 pounds, down 10 pounds. Hey, I even got one yesterday that said, hey, down 12 pounds in 60 days, super excited. Like I'm blown away at what we get to do, you know, like I get to help people with the same food allergies that I had. I get to help people with obesity and fatigue and stuff that I struggled with, and I get to go through my own process in the same time, you know, like I get to heal from a lot of different things physically now. I'm not even going to go into detail about the other stuff that I feel like my body has done in the last few years since having kids and just treating it badly, just eating junk food nonstop. And the last couple of years has been amazing to watch my body heal. It took less time to heal than it did to break it down, which was so interesting to me. But anyways, that's really all I wanted to give you guys. It's not like a huge explanation of anything. It's just to consider in your own life what you might kind of be missing without this opportunity. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But I think it's for more people than we know. I think we have a tendency to put our dreams like this off to the side and just say, no, I'm not capable of that. I can't possibly manage my own business or my own time and my family and all that kind of thing. And it's been amazing to come to realize that yes, I can. And anyone can, honestly. You can put a little tiny schedule in front of you and suddenly have a big booming business and have an income again. It's just amazing. Truly, truly amazing. Anyways, that's all I wanted to tell you guys about it. I'm super excited to continue my business, and I hope that this helps.